How are you doing today? Today is a good day in the neighborhood. So let me just jump on real quick and tell y'all, share this with somebody. Honey, especially your man, and let them know that communication is key, okay? Remember this song, what I need from you is understanding. Like when we communicate, communication is key. Why am I saying this? Because I was just talking to myself this morning, and I said, you know how most affairs get started? It's through communication. Communication on the job, communication in the grocery line. When there is proper communication, wheels and things start to turning and churning, honey. So I'm talking about me, for example, going through being married 3 times and how the affair started on my end. It was through communication, through text messages, through good morning, how you doing? Good morning, sunshine, have a good day. I hope you have a good day. And when you are starved and deprived from communication, it leads to other things. Wives, women need to have someone that they can communicate with. When you marry somebody, men, know off the rip that you are going to have lengthy, long conversations with your wife. That's just part of being married. And that's just how God uniquely designed us. We talk by nature. We talk things out. We why we always on the phone with our girlfriends is because we talk. So winning your wife over is through communication. How did the enemy get Eve to eat the apple? Through communication. Talk to your wife. 'Tis the season to talk to your wife. I want to encourage husbands also. I know that it's hard for you to feel like you have something in common with your wife, but you got to go back to the drawing board. If it entitled starting all over again, to do what you got to do to start communicating with your wife. If you're having extramarital affairs, what I'm learning is sometimes men be in relationships with other people for 20, 10, 15, however many years, because they feel like they can communicate better with the new lady. But you took vows with this lady, okay? You took vows with this lady. So you got to learn how to communicate. And you can't properly communicate if you're trying to communicate in 2 different households. So this is the time, and this is the year we get ready to cross over. Some things just gotta die. And extramarital relationships, I feel like you need to go and cut that out. When I was in one, it was broken off. It was broke off. The person broke off the relationship. And it was one of the most grievous moments in my life. How you grieving and you married? You married to somebody, but you grieving because your side piece that broke up with you. It was grievous. I was going through stages of grief with that relationship, and it was hard. But what I said to myself is, anything, I read a book, anything that you do consecutively for 21 days, it becomes a habit. So if I cannot talk to this person, if I cannot respond to these texts for 21 days, no matter how much I'm discomforted, then I'm going to be okay and I'm going to get over it. So in 21, keep my mind off of the other person. I'm talking about an affair. When you trying to end one, because that's what we need to do. There's no need for you going over into 2024 in a relationship. I don't care how deeply in love you are with somebody. If they're not your spouse, then you need to end it. You need to man up, woman up, let it go, or let the other person go. But why get entrapped? Because you got to answer for this. I don't care how much pheromones go to your brain when y'all together, how good the sex is. It don't matter. You still are going to have to answer for what you're doing. So go ahead and end that now before we go over to 2024. Start a clean slate with your spouse and start working on your marriage. The same energy that you put into a side piece whether male or female, is the same amount of energy that you need to put into your spouse. Yes, we married people. They don't like to listen. He just different. But you still married him. You knew he was crazy before you said I do, but you still married him. He don't understand me. It don't matter. That's still your husband. She don't do this. Tell her, teach. Why waste your time and your energy being with somebody else other than your spouse? Why? Why? Sex ain't everything. Come on, let's just get over it. We all past 40, some of us. You should have been had enough of that in your lifespan to get that out your system. Talking to that person, they listen. Okay, if you sit down and get to the root, the reason why your husband arguing, the reason why your wife is arguing, because y'all haven't gotten to the root of the problem. What's really eating Gilbert's grape? Good morning. What's really going on in this relationship? When did the moment of this is what happened to me that made me act this way towards you? What's the real reason? Why is there another person in this relationship doing what the other person's supposed to be doing? Good morning. We need to get to the bottom of it. Why are you doing this? What can be done to salvage what's going on? Because to me, marriage is one of the most beautiful things on the earth. And being that I done went through 3 of them, I pretty much understand that it's hard work. It's hard work being married. It's hard work being married to somebody that you want them to change and they don't want to change. It's hard work being married to somebody that you cannot communicate with properly. It's hard work. It's just hard work. But remember, you took these vows for better or worse, for sickness, health, to death do your part, all that stuff. You took those vows. So it's your job to put in the work. God didn't say it was going to be easy. I even learned when I was going through one of my marriages, one of my books I was reading was It Takes One to Tango. And it was about being married to someone that just don't want to change. They don't want to go to therapy. They don't want to do this. Everybody's marriage is different because everybody is different. So what all I'm saying before I get off of it is, whatever the differences is, try to come to a mutual, good morning classmate, a mutual agreement with your spouse so that y'all can be on a common ground. You ain't got to be I mean, that's Disney Channel stuff we be looking at where you think that you just gonna be a Mary Poppins. You just ain't nobody, come on, ain't nobody living no Disney Channel Cinderella story. Some people are, and if that's your story, then you putting in the work. You put in the work. You get out. Good morning. You get out what you put in. So what are you bringing to the table? What can you do to fix the situation? What can you do? Ask yourself that. What can you do to help your husband that don't like to talk, that don't like to communicate? What is you talking about? Is you just talk about something he want to talk about? But you got to start from somewhere so that you can end extramarital affairs. Because how she winning is, let me tell you from an adulterous woman how I was winning. Everything that I heard him say she wasn't doing, I made sure I did it times 10. Everything he complained about, I made sure I went above and beyond the call to show him that I was a better person than the person he was married to. Now, don't that sound retarded? Like me saying it out loud, that just sounds stupid. That sounds stupid. You doing all this to please somebody else's husband when you got one at the house that you should have been putting in that same energy on your spouse, and then things can work out. But we tend to like to start new. You think new is better. New is not the better. Work with what you got. Do you think our grandparents been married for 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years? It was easy for them. Because back then, our granddaddies was off the chain, y'all. They was a hot mess. They was. But the wife apparently found something to do to take up her time so that she can deal with what's going on. It may seem like you're in a rough spot right now, right? But do what you can do. Sit down and talk to your spouse before 2024. See what's going on. If it take y'all getting a therapist, going to talk to your pastor, get to the root of the problem so that you can move on. And remember, communication is key. What's that song is? What I need from you is understanding. Like when we communicate and you don't hear what I say. Communication means you hear what I'm saying. Somebody need to hear what the other person is saying. And once you hear it, you need to put it into action. If I'm telling you that you coughing all the time and sneezing and just little stupid stuff that get on your nerve, if I'm telling you that's getting on my nerve and you keep doing it, you're not understanding and we're not communicating. It's just the little things. It says the little foxes. Because remember too, when you coming up out of a relationship where you and your spouse, especially if there's another person involved, things are just going to be tense and tender for a moment. Y'all got to learn how to come back together. What brought you together? Go back to that. Get back on the same track. 2024. Leave Ray Ray alone. Leave Melissa alone. And just stick with your boo. Work on your boo. Pray about your boo. Fast for your boo. And watch God do it for you. Okay, y'all be encouraged. And remember, communication is key. Tell your husband today, we need to communicate. If you don't know how to communicate, because I learned some men don't know how to talk to you. They don't know how to communicate. You be talking to them talking about, oh, blah, 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 blah. What? Whatever you don't know how to do, is enough YouTube videos in Google for you to learn how to communicate. If we got to take courses together, whatever you got to do to make your marriage work, that's what you need to do. If there's a third wheel, get rid of the third wheel before 2024. Come on. Get rid of the third wheel before 2024 so that you can communicate effectively, so you can get to the root of the problem. Y'all could be a married, happy couple and have a lot of more children. Anybody having children in this season? I'm just being silly. But y'all can kiss and make up. Why start over? Because if he leave you, if she leave you and go get with boo-boo, trust me, you have to go through the same thing that you're going through right now. With boo-boo. You don't live with boo-boo. And you don't know all boo-boo little secret sins and things that boo-boo doing. It's cheaper to keep her, and it's better for you to keep the one you with. Because the other ones do be crazy. Okay? Side note, they be crazy. They giving you the best version of themselves. Uh-huh. Yeah, exactly, Sister Felicia. They're giving you the best version of themselves right now. But if you leave your spouse to go be with that person, you're going to go through the same thing. So just be with the person that you took vows with. Make it right with them so that you can make it last forever and ever. Of course, you can tell I've been looking at, listening to old school R&B this week or so, and Christmas songs. So anyway, y'all have a good day. I'm finna go and get this party started. Bye-bye. Communication.